There you go. So here you go. Maybe we should just show that everybody's here today, right? My GoPro. Did you guys ever see a GoPro? Those things, and they said, I took it over to the DPS, and they said, oh, it's too shaky, we can't do it. The guy jumps out of a damn airplane, do they take the video, and the guy says, oh, it's too shaky, I can't do anything with it. Huh? The guy's scuba diving in the sharks. Oh, it's too shaky, throw that video out, there's no value there, right? Roger can sit up here and talk forever, but that's no value. It's shaky, shaky. What are we after here, guys? Are we after format or content? Are we after semantics or syntax? Well, we're after both of them. What do you see with me? You see format here? Or do you say, hopefully I have a little content. Maybe I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. You ain't getting, is my hair perfect? Am I in perfect physical shape? No, I'm sorry, I ain't worried about that. I'm trying to get across the facts here, so just the facts, man. So, what is the UML, object orientation? Another one is systems development lifecycle. What's in systems development lifecycle? What are the 4 stages? Hey, you don't have to write it down, it's here. Does anybody know what we're talking about there?
Planning, analysis, design,
and implementation, right? And then, somebody might put an M at the end. What's that? What would that be? M? Maintain, right? After it's done, right? And in the end, we may spend more money maintaining a system than we actually do building it. When we start spending more money and time maintaining a system, what should we do with that system? Throw it out and get a new one, right? And that's what happens. And this is one of the things as a systems analyst that you're going to have to do. So there's this, we're going to plan, analyze, design, implement. My writing's not too good, and maintain. Okay? So now I've given you 2, right? What have I given you? UML, we've given you systems development lifecycle. What's that?
The one iterative prototyping.
Well, you see, the guy says, you say tomato, I say tomato, tomato, potato, potato, whatever. And, I could say spiral process design, right? Excuse me. If I go to the SEI, in a Software Engineering Institute at CMU, Carnegie Mellon, they're going to talk to you about spiral processing, right? We could talk to you about cascade, right? Now, what's important is terminology. Different books may say different things. Now, again, when we study this systems development lifecycle, SDLC, I'm going to try to make some sense out of this SDLC. This is what mostly they talk about. But in your book, there's going to be like 5 or 6 steps. They're going to put a couple of extra steps inside. So, it's a little fuzzy. It's not always exactly the same. So, can I say you're wrong? No. The only thing I can say is that in the context of this book, that's not what they say. Now, maybe you can see which one of these 3 it fits in. What's the third one? The more modern one, the faster one, the one that's newer. Everybody talks about it right now. Starts with an A. Android? Yeah, well, Android just means, what does that mean? Android means it's not Apple, right? It's open source, or it's Samsung, something like that, right? But it's not Android. What is it? Agile. Agility, right? So what's the difference? Where does the systems development lifecycle, where did that come about? Where have you heard about that before? Why do we have that? Where did we come up with it originally? Anybody know? That's from the old mainframe days. Okay, and they talk about iterative and builds, and this was whenever you had, the basic centralization, and it was cascading, just like a waterfall. It cascaded down here. But that doesn't mean if I'm in design, can I go back to analysis? Because there's something wrong? Well, really, you have to, because, by the time I get to the end of the development and I'm ready to maintain it, and I messed up here in the planning, it's going to cost me a lot of money. I'm going to catch this earlier on. That's better for me to do that than to catch it late. All right? So we got systems development lifecycle. That's centralized. We got a more modern, which is UML, which is object orientation, and then we have a third one called Agile. Now, if you read one of my papers, you know, and when they talk about MANOVA and determinants of software engineering, if you guys would go home and read that paper, which is here, it would explain these things. When I do a software engineering project, are they all the same thing? Are they all under the same circumstances, right? No, they aren't. What would be, does it matter which company I'm working for? Okay, if I'm doing it for PNC Bank, or if I'm doing it for a company that does nothing other than write software engineering, are they going to somewhat do it differently? If I'm working for the DoD, Department of Defense, is that going to be different? Probably. What happens if we come in and all of a sudden something just suddenly doesn't work? Which method are we going to use? I come in, the whole system, you know, PNC, something that keeps PNC up and running, and now the ATMs aren't running because one of the programs crashed. Am I going to do a design document and go through the whole systems development life cycle, or am I going to scramble a team of agile experts to fix that damn thing and get it up because it's costing me money the longer it's down? Sometimes you use agile. Sometimes the systems development life cycle or this iterative spiral process can be used, and at other times, if I'm developing software for a living for the DoD, they're going to want, in 3 months, they're going to want, first of all, they're going to want a kickoff meeting, and then they're going to tell me in 3 months they want a report. They want to tell me, I want to know what is the first part of that design document. What have you done? There's deliverables due at a certain date. So all 3 methods are still out there. It depends upon the problem that you have, the amount of time that you have, and also the mindset of the people that are involved. So the answer is there is no answer. The answer is whatever you do, but somewhere along the line, you have to pick a method and you have to follow. So I'm asking you to do a design document because we have 4 months, 5 months here to do this. You have some time to put all these things together, and it will bring together all of the skills that you've learned up to this point. So that's why I want you to do that. I want you to put that in the organizational context. Why am I doing a design document? Why? What am I going to put in it? Use cases, event tables, collaboration diagrams, all the things we learned here, right? So as we go along, I'd start today, start building that design document, and as we go over these things, I'd put them in. You'll be in good shape by the time it's done. So that's what's going on here. Systems, roles, development, methodologies. Like I said, guys, what time we get out of here? 4, what is it?
55.
50, okay. So, yeah, we have